When nothing moves you, the world loses its power over you. Insults pass through without landing, fear fails to find a place to sit, and chaos is reduced to background noise. Most people believe this state is unreachable, reserved for mystics or legends. In truth, it was once deliberately cultivated by warriors who expected to face death at any moment. Their calm was not personality, but discipline shaped over years. Long before psychology named emotional regulation, Japanese warriors understood something precise about the human mind. Miyamoto Musashi wrote that disturbance comes not from events, but from attachment to outcomes. To move freely, the mind had to become still. Zen teachings refined this into a system where attention was trained like a blade, honed until nothing unnecessary remained. This state was called Mushin, the mind without grasping. Chapter 1. The First Disturbance. A man named Daniel lived with the constant sensation of pressure. His days were measured by tension in his jaw and a steady tightening in his chest whenever something went wrong. A comment from a colleague, a delay in traffic, even an unexpected noise could hijack his attention. He did not consider himself weak, yet his reactions arrived before thought, as if his mind were not his own. He tried solving the problem by adding techniques, breathing practices, reminders, mental rules to stay calm. None of these helped for long because the problem was not lack of tools. Musashi warned that a mind cluttered with techniques is already defeated. The issue was movement itself, the reflex to react, to defend, to justify. Chapter 2. The Samurai's Still Point. In Zen dojos and battlefield camps, warriors trained a different response. They did not suppress emotion or pretend nothing mattered. Instead, they reduced the space emotion could occupy. Through repetition and simplicity, they learned to return the mind to a still center the moment it began to scatter. This discipline was not softness. A samurai who hesitated died. Mushin was not emptiness, but clarity without interruption. The mind responded only to what was necessary, and nothing more. Everything else was allowed to pass without engagement. Chapter 3. The Cost of Reaction. Daniel began to notice something uncomfortable. His reactions were expensive. Each emotional spike consumed energy he did not recover, leaving him dull by evening and restless at night. He saw that his exhaustion was not caused by workload, but by constant internal commentary. Bushido demanded conservation of spirit. Warriors avoided unnecessary speech, movement, and emotional display because these leaked strength. Silence was not passive, it was protective. A person who reacts to everything can be controlled by anything. Chapter 4. Removal before addition. Instead of learning new habits, Daniel removed one. He decided that for the first hour of each day, he would not speak unless necessary. No inner arguments, no external explanations. This was not relaxation, it was discipline. This mirrors the Zen method of elimination. Before cultivating high states, the practitioner removes excess speech, excess opinion, excess response. Over time, attention regathers itself naturally, like water returning to an undisturbed surface. Chapter 5. Facing the urge. The urge to react did not vanish. It became louder at first. Thoughts pressed for expression, demanding release. Daniel noticed how often speech was used to relieve internal pressure rather than to convey meaning. Musashi advised observing impulse without obeying it. The warrior watched emotion arise as he would watch an opponent test distance. No commitment was made until necessary. This gap between impulse and action became the foundation of control. Chapter 6. The Discipline of Presence. As days passed, Daniel felt something unfamiliar in moments of conflict. Time seemed slightly slower. He could feel the urge to defend, but it no longer pushed him forward. This space was small, but it was enough. Samurai training aimed to expand this space. Presence was not mystical awareness, but uninterrupted perception. When attention is complete, nothing jerks the body into reaction. Action flows from decision, not reflex. Chapter 7. Living in Mushin. Mushin is misunderstood as emotional numbness. In truth, emotions still arise, but they are not fed. Like sparks on stone, they flare briefly and disappear. The mind remains usable. Daniel's life did not become easier, but it became quieter. He noticed that many situations resolved themselves once he stopped interfering emotionally. What once felt personal now appeared mechanical, almost predictable. Chapter 8. Strength Without Display. Bushido praised restraint over expression, not because emotion was shameful, but because uncontrolled emotion signaled vulnerability. The one who stayed still controlled the rhythm. The one who reacted followed it. Daniel learned that calm was not something to show. It was something to keep. The less he tried to appear composed, the more naturally he became so. Chapter 9. The Unshakable Identity. Over time, a subtle shift occurred. Daniel stopped identifying himself as someone who struggled for calm. He began to see stillness as his default, disturbance as temporary weather. Identity followed behavior. In Japanese philosophy, the self is shaped by repeated practice, not affirmation. What you embody daily becomes what you are. An unshakable mind is not thought into existence, but trained. Chapter 10. When nothing moves you. When nothing moves you, you do not withdraw from life. You engage more precisely. Words are chosen, actions are deliberate, and silence carries weight. This was the samurai ideal, not isolation, but composure under inevitability. Musashi described the ultimate victory as freedom from disturbance, not dominance, not control over others, but mastery of one's internal terrain. In a world that constantly pulls at attention, this discipline remains rare. To cultivate an unshakable mind is to return to something ancient, not by force, but by removal, not by resistance, but by stillness. When nothing moves you, you finally stand where the warrior always stood, fully present, unoccupied, and ready.